Can you hear it? The rain pounding the city that night. Cold, relentless. Imagine yourself standing there feeling each drop. The water washes the streets, but can it ever wash away the sadness hiding in the alley? What would you notice if you walked by? Picture yourself peering behind a dumpster. Would you spot the small shivering dog trying to disappear? His fur is matted, his bones sharp beneath the skin. How would you feel seeing him like this? To you, he might look like a ghost, a shadow flickering in the darkness. Would you stop or keep walking? Imagine days blurring together, hunger and fear your only companions. Can you picture living like that? The world rushes by, cars, people, noise. Would you notice him, or would he be invisible to you too? He searches trash for scraps, usually finding nothing. What would you do if you saw him searching? The cold bites at him. He curls tighter, wishing to disappear. Can you feel the chill in the air? No name, no home, no hope. If you were him, what would you wish for? The city's life never touches him. Would you let it touch you? People pass by, faces aglow with their phones, never looking down. Would you look up? Would you see him? He's a secret the city keeps. If you found him, would you keep his secret too? Laughter and music drift from nearby, a world he can't join. Would you invite him in if you could? His world is concrete and decay. What would you do to change it? Alone, his spirit as broken as his body, he closes his eyes. Can you imagine the weight of that loneliness? Memories of warmth and kindness fade like old photographs. Do you remember a time you felt forgotten? Only cold, hunger, and fear remain. How would you hold on to hope? He's a dog on the edge of life, unsure if he'll see the morning. Would you help him see another day? The rain keeps falling as if the sky itself weeps for him. Would you share his sorrow? He's a lost soul in an uncaring city. Have you ever felt invisible, like you'd given up? He waits for it all to end. What would you wait for in his place? The city moves on, unaware. Would you be the one to notice? But change is coming, even if he can't see it. Can you sense the hope on the horizon? In the darkness, hope is about to find him. Would you be that hope? Sometimes the smallest lives are the easiest to overlook. Will you choose to see them?
Maria walked home late, tired from work, taking a shortcut through the alley. She pulled her coat tighter, uneasy in the darkness. A faint, pitiful whimper stopped her. She hesitated, then turned on her phone's flashlight. The beam cut through the shadows, revealing only trash, until she heard the cry again. Heart pounding, she moved closer to the dumpster. Behind it, she found a tiny broken dog, curled up and shaking. His eyes were dull, his body skeletal. Maria's heart broke at the sight. She couldn't leave him. He wouldn't survive another night. Kneeling, she spoke softly. "It's okay, little guy. I'm not going to hurt you." The dog flinched, terrified. Maria knew he needed more help than she could give. She called the local animal rescue, voice trembling as she explained. The person on the phone promised help was on the way. Maria stayed nearby, whispering, "Help is coming." She watched over him, determined not to let him fade away. The alley felt less lonely now. Sometimes hope begins with a single act of kindness. Maria waited, refusing to turn away. The city's secret was about to be revealed. For the first time in a long while, the little dog was not alone. Maria's courage would change everything. In the darkness, a rescue was on its way. The world had finally noticed him. Sometimes, all it takes is one person to care. Maria was that person tonight. The rain kept falling, but hope had arrived. The alley was no longer silent. A life was about to be saved. Maria's heart ached, but she stayed. The city's forgotten soul had been found, and nothing would ever be the same. "He's back there," Maria said, voice trembling.
David and Sarah, the rescuers, nodded. This was all too familiar. David grabbed a warm blanket. Sarah brought a carrier and leash. They approached slowly, speaking softly. "Hey there, buddy. We're here to help." The dog watched, too weak to run, trembling. David sat nearby, letting the dog get used to his presence. After a few minutes, the trembling eased slightly. David gently tossed a treat, but the dog was too scared to eat. Carefully, David wrapped the blanket around him. The warmth was likely the first he'd felt in ages. Sarah brought the carrier closer. David lifted the dog, so light it was heartbreaking, and placed him inside.
"Will he be okay?"
"We'll do everything we can. You saved his life tonight." They closed the van doors and drove into the night. Maria watched, tears in her eyes as hope left the alley. The little dog was on his way to a new chance. The city's secret was finally safe. Sometimes rescue begins with a gentle hand. The journey to healing had begun. For the first time, the little dog was not invisible.
The rescue center was bright and warm, a world away from the alley. The little dog was rushed to the medical room where Dr. Evans waited. She examined him gently, malnourished, dehydrated, feverish, covered in sores. The team worked quickly. IV fluids, medicine, careful cleaning. Every touch was gentle, every word soft. They gave him a name, Rocky. A name meant hope, a new start. Rocky didn't know it yet, but kindness surrounded him. For the first time in ages, he felt a glimmer of comfort. After treatment, he was moved to a quiet kennel with a soft bed and warmth. The next 24 hours were critical. Dr. Evans wasn't sure he'd make it, but Rocky had survived so much already. The staff checked on him through the night, whispering, "You can do it, Rocky." He was a fighter, and now he had a team fighting for him. The darkness was lifting, just a little. Rocky's journey was far from over, but hope had found him. The alley was behind him now. In this new place, he had a name, a bed, and a chance. Sometimes, the smallest spark of hope is enough. Rocky's fight for life had truly begun. The staff believed in him. The city's forgotten dog was forgotten no more. Rocky was not alone. The healing had started. Every gentle word, every soft touch mattered. Rocky's story was changing. The first glimmer of hope was real. He was more than a ghost now. He was Rocky, and he was not giving up.
The first days were hard. Rocky was weak, scared, refusing food. The staff fed him with a syringe, letting his body and spirit heal. He pressed into the kennel's corner, overwhelmed by shelter noise. Trust would take time.
I sat outside his kennel every day, reading aloud, letting him hear a kind voice.
At first, Rocky ignored her, but soon he watched from the corner of his eye.
One day, I left a piece of chicken inside the door. He crept forward and ate it.
It was his first solid food on his own. A small victory. Rocky began to look forward to Emily's visits, waiting by the door. She left the kennel open. He started coming out, sitting nearby. One afternoon, Rocky rested his head on Emily's knee.
I froze, tears in my eyes. He was starting to trust.
Rocky was learning not all humans were bad. Each day he grew braver. The healing was slow but real. Trust was returning. Rocky's world was opening up. As Rocky's trust grew, so did his health. He gained weight, his fur returned, and his eyes brightened. The sadness faded, replaced by curiosity. Moved to the adoption area, he discovered toys, at first strange, then delightful. The first time he played, the staff cheered. Rocky met other dogs, especially gentle Daisy, who helped him learn to be a dog again. Soon, they explored the yard together. The transformation was remarkable. The ghost from the alley was gone. Rocky greeted staff with a wagging tail, loved walks, and learned to sit for treats. His spirit shone brightly. He was no longer a victim, but a survivor. Rocky was ready for a family. The staff knew it wouldn't be long. He was finally the dog he was meant to be. The past was behind him. Rocky was ready for his forever home. Rocky was put up for adoption, his story shared online. Many visitors overlooked him, but one family, Tom, Lisa, and their son Leo, noticed his kind eyes.
Look, Mom, that one has kind eyes.
They met Rocky in a quiet room. Tom and Lisa spoke softly. Leo let Rocky come to him. Rocky sniffed Leo, then licked his hand.
He likes me.
The family spent an hour with Rocky, moved by his story. They weren't looking for perfect, they wanted a dog who needed them. They filled out the adoption paperwork that day. They kept his name, Rocky.
Thank you for saving him. He'll have a wonderful life with us.
Rocky was finally going home. His journey from alley to family was complete. He was no longer lost. Rocky had found his place. Leaving the shelter, Rocky jumped into the car beside Leo. The ride was quiet. Rocky watched the world pass by, no longer afraid. At his new home, he sniffed the grass, tail wagging wildly.
Come on, Rocky, this is your new home.
Inside, Rocky explored every room, finding a soft bed just for him. That first day was full of new joys. His own bowls, toys, and playtime with Leo. He ran, fetched, and felt happiness for the first time. That evening, he curled up on the couch between Tom and Lisa, safe and loved. As he drifted to sleep, memories of the alley faded. His new life had begun. He was no longer abandoned. He was Rocky, a member of a family. He was home. The journey was over. But the love was just beginning. Rocky knew he would be cherished forever. The world had changed for him. He was finally where he belonged, and he would never be alone again. Rocky's story is one of hope, once forgotten, now cherished. His days are filled with love, play, and family. The scars of his past are fading, replaced by joy. His journey shows the power of compassion. Maria's small act of kindness saved a life and inspired many. Every rescuer, vet, and volunteer played a part. Together, they created a miracle. There are thousands of dogs like Rocky, waiting for a chance. They are not broken, just lost, with so much love to give. Adopting a rescue animal saves lives and changes hearts. Let Rocky's journey inspire kindness and action. If you see an animal in need, help. Volunteer, adopt, or simply share their stories. Every act of kindness matters. Together we can turn abandonment into adoration. Every dog deserves a home and a happy ending.